Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our supplemental video. So this time in Introduction to Project Management, we are now in the last week of your midterm, which is the week 11 or lesson 11. And today's topic we will be discussing about the project quality management planning. So before I proceed to my discussion, let me just remind, especially for those student na hindi pa nakapag-take ng kanilang prelim exam, please find time or sacrifice your time to take your prelim examination. So if you are not able to come here in school, I prepared an online exam for you if you want to take your exam through online. So, yung mga student na hindi makakapunta dito sa city or sa sentro or sa school, you can take your exam through online. So, just approach me. So, all you have to do is you have to take a clear photo of your permit and your clearance, then send it to my messenger or to my email ad. Okay, so yan. So for those student naman who will able to come here in school, you may come here in school anytime para makapag-take kayo ng prelim exam ninyo. Kasi nga, next week is your midterm examination na ulit. Okay, so we are now in the last week of your lesson discussion. And of course, for those students who are not yet done in passing the requirements, so I still have a student who are not yet completed their requirements from their prelim. So from week 1 to 5. And of course, may mga student din na hindi pa nakapag-submit ng requirements nila from week 7 to 10. Okay, so remember that I am giving extra points or bonus points for those students who will submit the requirements before the deadline or before the due date of your requirements. And one more thing is please have with you your printed module if you are listening or watching to our supplemental video. I hope you have already your I hope you have already your printed module with you. Yan. And for those student bala na nahihirapan sa maintindihan yung printed module is you have here the supplemental video. So in your GC, I already sent or uploaded the link of our supplemental video. So those link na sinend ko sa inyo is your access to our YouTube channel wherein andun na lahat, uploaded na po lahat yung mga supplemental videos or recorded videos regarding your topic or lesson. Okay, so yan. So I hope you're watching those supplemental videos and or recorded videos kasi you know what guys, it really helps you a lot to understand better the module that you have. So if you have time, if you are not that busy, please lang watch those supplemental video. Okay, and for our distance learner or student who are not able to come here in school to get their module, you may download the soft copy of your module in our Google Classroom. I hope you are already in or enrolled to our Google Classroom. So if you are not enrolled or hindi pa kayo naka-in, please notify me para ma-send ko sa inyo yung classroom code or the link of the Google Classroom. Okay, and if you want naman, if you may upload or send or pass your requirements in the Google Classroom. So all you have to do is take a clear photo of your requirements and of course, readable siya dapat. So still, you will going to write your requirements in a yellow paper and upload it through our Google Classroom or you may upload it or send it to my messenger or email. So yan. So those reminders pala, those printed yellow paper, yung mga requirements ninyo na sinulat nyo sa yellow paper, please keep those yellow papers because I am going to collect that one soon. Okay? So yan. So that's for our, my friendly reminders for you, kahit na paulit-ulit. Yan. So, again, welcome to our supplemental video in Introduction to Project Management. And we will be discussing about the project quality management planning. So today's learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to define what is project quality management and describe the relationship between the choice of software and project complexity, and you will be able to apply how to implement quality project management. Okay, so those are our learning objectives for today's topic. Okay, so let's move on. So we have here project quality management planning. So it's all about the project quality management, which is encompasses the process and yung mga activities na ginagamit para ma-figure out and para ma-achieve yung mga quality of the deliverables of the project. So however, quality can be elusive word. So it is very important, guys, that we always check the quality of the project that we are developing. So it is very important to manage planning, especially in the project quality. So ano nga ba tong quality na to? So I believe naman na alam nyo na itong mga quality kasi every time you go shopping, di ba, pag nag-shopping kayo, check nyo kung maganda ba siya, maayos ba siya, okay ba yung tela niya, matibay ba yung tela niya. So that is quality, checking the quality. So just like building or developing, for example, infrastructure, di ba? So, kailangan pag-aralan mo muna kung safe ba yung land, kung saan mo pa ipapatayo yung project mo, or ano ba yung mga kailangan na materials na which is suitable dun sa area na kay kunwari. What if bangin yon, di ba? Hindi ka naman pwedeng. Or what if you will going to develop a 10-story building, di ba? So, hindi naman pwedeng yung maliliit lang na steel bar yung gamitin mo. So, you check also on the quality of the materials na ginagamit mo. Kung safe ba ito, matibay ba ito, or good quality ba ito. Okay, so a quality is while we could go on forever about the true meaning of quality and use the Socratic methods to dialogue on its many possible meanings. So for project management, the answer is more defined. So yung quality naman is simply what the customer or stakeholder needs from the project deliverables. So ito yung mga kailangan natin. So even the customers and mga stakeholders. So oo naman 'di ba, ang kailangan lang naman natin sa isang product na binibili natin is the quality. Kung matibay siya, kung okay siya, di kukunin natin or gusto natin, 'di ba? Siyempre kung hindi maganda yung quality ng isang product or for example a project, siyempre ibig sabihin madidismaya ka at hindi mo yun kukunin, di ba? So, yan. So, by keeping the definition tied to the customer or stakeholder, quality management can have a narrower focus, which means it's more likely to achieve its goal. Okay? So, that is for the overview of the project quality management planning. So, na-define ko na sa inyo kung ano yung quality. So, yung pinaka-importante talaga is na kailangan when it comes to project deliverables is the quality. Okay, so we have here the project quality management concept. So we have three, I think. So yan. So yung project managers oversee implementing a project quality management plan. So even if yung deliverable is na-meet niya yung lahat ng mga aspects of what the customer or your stakeholder has required, but is done so where the process itself was not too satisfactory, then there is a problem. Okay? So yan. So or the main idea again is to deliver yung product or service to the specification of the customer or stakeholder. So meron tayong mga may mga kailangan tayong gawin. So requires knowing quality management concept. So we have the customer satisfaction, prevention over inspection, continuous improvement. So what do we mean by customer satisfaction? Of course, pag wala yung customer satisfaction, there can be no quality. So, kahit na yung deliverable meets all the aspects of what the customer or stakeholder had required, but it is done so where the process itself was not too satisfactory, then may problema doon. So, yung deliverable, kailangan niyang ma-meet with agreed upon the requirements or else yung project has failed kasi nga the product of the project and the management of the project did not meet with the expectations of the customer or stakeholders. So, yan. So, minsan, pag hindi mo na, yun yung nagkakaroon ng mga problema, so, ibig sabihin is hindi mo siguro na-meet yung gusto ng customer mo or stakeholder. Okay? So, yan. So, that's why yung implementing ng quality control, ibig sabihin is yung managing both process tsaka yung people. So, hindi lang naman yung process yung kailangan mong i-manage dyan. So, kailangan mo ding i-manage yung mga tauhan mo na tumutulong sa'yo to develop that such project. So, meet your customer or stakeholder regularly to keep them abreast of the project's progress. So, for example, so every Friday we have our meeting or faculty meeting dito. So, importante talaga na you are regularly connected to your employee or to your people. 'Di ba? So para malaman mo kung ano yung progress this week, kung ano yung naging problema this week, then magpaplano ka for next week. So 'yan. So titignan mo na naman kung naging successful ba yung plan mo this week. So 'yan. So it is very important to meet your customer or stakeholder regularly. So, but their feedback and make sure that you're being fully transparent with them para maiwasan natin yung mga issue na yan. Okay? Okay, so next is prevention over inspection. So, yung quality doesn't come free. So, alam natin naman. So, if you are familiar with the COQ or yung cost of quality natin, is the money spent dealing with issues during the project and then after dun sa project and fix any failure. So, these are broken up into two categories. So, you have yung cost of conformance and yung cost of non-conformance. So when we say yung cost of conformance, pwede natin i-consider na yung preventive cost. So itong cost na to are primarily related doon sa training, so the documentation process, pwede rin sa mga equipment na kailangan, at saka yung time na nire-required para makuha natin yung quality ng mas maayos. So other costs related to this can include yung testing, yung destructive testing loss, and yung mga inspections. So, yung cause of non-conformance naman is, it refers naman dun sa may internal failure cause. So, ito is consists of yung having to rework something. So, siguro kung may kailangan palitan or may kailangan i-renovate or i-renovate or even scrap it entirely. So, further costs can come from liabilities, warranty work, and lost business. So, imagine. So, next is we have the continuous improvement. Okay, so when we say continuous improvement naman, itong concept ng quality project management na to can be found in Six Sigma and yung TQM natin. So, any is featured dominantly in the prevention over yung inspection concept. So, itong concept na ito is, explained in its title, an ongoing effort to address yung improvement para dun sa deliverables over time. So whether through small incremental changes or through large ones, so yung opportunities kailangan i-identify and address change is always present. So applying lahat ng concepts also means constantly monitoring and documenting yung kahit anong issue na that come up, di ba? So you can then use the lesson learned yan when managing future projects. So this way, you run a more efficient project and likely won't repeat mistakes. Diba? So, lesson learned, diba? If alam natin na that's mistake, if we've learned from it, then next time around, hindi na natin siya uulitin. Okay? So, next slide is how to implement quality project management. So, paano ba natin may implement yung quality project management? So once that you have an idea about doon sa different concept, so yung next step is i-implement na natin yung project quality management plan. So para gawin natin ito, we have here the 3 steps. So, ang kailangan nyo lang gawin is follow the 3 steps. Okay? So, first step is plan quality. So first, di ba, i-identify mo muna yung requirements para dun sa quality of the deliverable and at saka yung kung paano na uh, kung paano na i-manage yung project. So agree on how this process will be documented and of course how that information will be delivered. So will you have regular meetings, emails or etc. So yan. So, kailangan din yan, gaya ng sinabi ko, kailangan i-meet mo din yung mga customers or mga stakeholders mo regularly. So, itong plan na ito will, of course, will include these specifics as well as yung matrix doon sa measuring the quality while managing the project. So, kailangan din na i-include natin yung quality checklist natin to collect and of course, organize the marks you need to hit during the project. So, yan. So, kailangan may checklist ka din, di ba? So, parang ako yung taong gumagawa talaga ng checklist. So, to do, ganyan. Tapos, kunwari this week, ayan, week 11, introduction to project management, week 10, ganun. Chine-check ko siya, kaya nga checklist, chine-check mo kung tapos mo na siya. So, yan, importante din yun. Di ba? Yan. And next is you have the quality assurance. So, when we say quality assurance, according dun sa may ASQ natin or American Society for Quality, the plan and systematic activity implemented in a quality system so that quality requirements for a product or service will be fulfilled. So, tama din naman, di ba? Quality assurance. So, kailangan gumamit tayo ng quality assurance para ma-make sure natin na yung process are in fact working towards making the project deliverable is ma-meet natin yung quality requirements. So, you have two ways para ma-accomplish natin. This is why by using a process checklist at saka yung project audit. Ayan. So, para ma-meet mo daw yung how do you call that one? Quality assurance is you have two ways para na kailangan i-accomplish. Ito yung paggamit ng process checklist tsaka yung project audit. And for the last one is you have the quality control. Okay, so for the quality control, so every process is kailangan ng policeman. So to speak, so to make sure that the rules are being following and that the expected quality is being met. So some ways to ensure that the required quality of the deliverables is being achieved is through peer reviews and tsaka yung testing natin. Di ba? So yan. So importante yun yung peer reviews tsaka yung testing. Di ba? Iti-test mo siya. So it is essential din para na i-check yung quality ng deliverables during doon sa project management process para sa ganun is ma-adjust natin yung deliverables if they are not meeting the standards that have been set. So this can be done at the end of the project but it's not as efficient as to redo rather than to readjust. Okay? So that is the project quality management process or how to implement quality project management. So you have there the figure. Yan, so quality management, then quality assurance, then you have the quality control. Okay, so next is we have the process of project quality management. So managing yung process ng quality management is involved, madaming bagay ang involved dito, such as yung setting quality targets for your team to meet, and then of course defining how to measure those quality targets and reporting on them. So yung project management tools can prove helpful with this. So you have the using project management .com to manage quality, and you have the online Gantt charts for quality management plans. So in the using projectmanager.com to manage, comes doon, itong projectmanager.com is nanggaling siya doon sa my dashboard. So, which is one screen where you can view yung matrix every aspect ng project. So, yung data is usually shown in easy to read charts and graphs. So, which can be shared or printed out doon sa presentation. So, yung data for our dashboard is updated doon sa real time and provides yung pinaka-most na accurate measurement para doon sa project's progress. So, this makes responding to quality issues time lighter. So, and it becomes less likely such as yung issues will develop further into problems that can sidetrack the project. Okay, so next is you have the online Gantt charts for quality management plans. So I don't know if you are familiar with the Gantt charts kasi ginagagamit natin ito especially in the Microsoft Excel. Di ba? Itong online Gantt charts na ito is ginagawa niya yung scheduling and yung monitoring at tasks related doon sa quality management simple. So, doon sa myprojectmanager.com natin, you can upload a task list or spreadsheet which is then instantly populated on a timeline. So, ang kailangan nyo lang gawin is mag-add kayo ng duration of each task and assign it. And of course, you can also use yung our Gantt chart software to quickly para mas mabilis na ma-build your project from dun sa scratch. So, yung online Gantt chart natin is can also provide a great collaborative platform para sa inyong mga team or sa mga member mo. So, lahat ng task na yun is usually able to link to supporting documents. We have yung or documents, pwede din sa mga images and other files as well as offering a dialogue where team members can talk about the task and resolve any issues that arise. So, di ba ang galing, ang gandang gamitin ito. Yan. Okay, so next is we have the TQM for projects or the total quality management for projects. So those are yung two kanina, yung using projectmanager.com to manage quality and online Gantt charts for quality management plans. Those are the process of quality management. Okay, so next is we have the TQM for projects or your total quality management. So ito naman tong TQM na to, ito is ito yung popular customer based methodology of the quality control and yung improvement derived from dun sa Japanese industry since noong 1950s. Kaya nga 'di ba may feeling ko meron kayong subject na BISOA kayong mga BISOA na TQM. Yun, yung total quality management. So, ito is nag-o-offer siya ng unique approach for pagmamanage ng quality ng product or yung mga proseso while looking to customers as the major source of quality definition. So in other words, yung TQM principles natin are based doon sa customer requirements natin and standards para ma-establish natin yung continuous and dynamic process para sa product improvement. So yung methodology is you can create an effective working environment where every person strives to consistently improve yung product or yung proseso. Okay, so dahil sa TQM, yung mga customer-oriented methodology, it requires yung every project team member to be completely involved dun sa may improvement process. So, parang kami, 'di ba, pag nagmi-meeting kami, tapos may plan kami, is kailangan involve every team or agreed buong team. So, hindi lang yung ikaw yung may gusto. Okay, so yan. So, every employee should focus on the improvements while trying to enhance their personal productivity. O, diba? So, while you are focusing or improving yung mga kailangan is also nahahasa din yung personal productivity mo. Diba? So, yan. So, total quality management. So, yung total quality management naman natin is an organization-wide philosophy with its core values centered on continually improving the quality of its product and services. So, yung quality of its processes is to meet and of course exceed yung customer expectation. So, ibig sabihin na yung everyone is in the organization from the top management hanggang dun sa may employees. So, they plays a role in yun, yung pag-provide ng quality ng products and services sa mga customers natin. Even sa mga suppliers and yung mga customers themselves as part doon sa may TQM or yung sa may total quality management natin. Okay? So, yan. So, next is we have the improvement sequence. So, how will you going to improve your, your product or your services, di ba? So, yung improvement methods ng total quality management natin is nagre-require siya using yung interactive 4-step management natin or interactive 4-step management process natin para dun sa planning and monitoring dun sa quality ng product or service natin. So, ito yung, itong process na ito is you have the PDCA. So, ibig sabihin, plan, do, check, then act. So it creates an improvement sequence to be used within the methodology. So first is you have the plan. Of course, it is very important. Kahit naman anong gusto mong gawin sa buhay, meron pa rin tong plan, di ba? Of course, in planning, first you must determine the problem. So, di ba nung nung kayo, if you will going to put up a business, is you have to determine first the problem. Then, of course, identify possible reasons for that problem. So, dapat alam mo din kung bakit yun yung problema, ano kaya yung rason kung bakit yun yung problema. And finally, evaluate mo yung possible alternatives, problems, and the reason, though, cause-effect analysis. So, output, so you develop a plan describing your problem, reasons, effect, and of course, of action for addressing the problem. Next is you have do. So, after determining the problem, after identifying the possible reasons for that problem, and evaluate the possible alternative problems, you have here the do. Now, you need to implement your plan. So, kailangan mo nang i-implement, di ba? Yung mga plano mo na gusto mo. So, of course, kailangan mo din i-involve yung team mo dun sa may implementation and start the improvement process. Hindi naman porket ikaw lang nagplan tapos ikaw na lang gagawa. Diba? So, of course, involve mo pa rin yung team mo. Next is you have the check. So, during and after implementation, so you must gather information on observed effects of the problem. So, your goal here is para ma-find out mo kung ano yung kailangan mong improvement solutions were successful. Next, for the last one is you have the action. So, yung final step natin is kailangan natin i-ensure na yung improvement process natin has been implemented. So, yung problem is successfully solved and yung product quality is na-improve mo na. Okay? So, yan. So, dun sa combination ng TQM principles natin, yung PDCA improvement sequence significantly, ini-increase niya yung likelihood of the quality improvement success kasi nga it allows avoiding common management mistakes. Okay? Yan. So, those are the improvement sequence. So, always remember yung PDCA natin, which is plan, do, check, and act. Next is you have the principles of TQM. So first, you have the produce quality work the first time. So ibig sabihin, producing yung quality work the first time, it means quality is built into the processes for producing dun sa products or providing yung mga services. So, and continual improvement measure are taken to para ma-ensure natin yung process work every time. So, yung mga employees are empowered to kailangan gumawa sila ng decision para ma-improve yung process and are provided with continual training to develop their skills. So, di ba? So, yan. So, next is focus on the customer. So, you have to focus on the customer, which is involved in designing products or services that meet or exceed the customer's expectation. So, dapat kung ano yung expectation ng customers. So, wag lang doon. So, kung kailangan mo pang i-improve yung gusto ng customers para mas maging maganda yung kalalabasan, you can do that. Okay? So, this involves yung product itself, yung functionality, yung attributes, yung ano pa ba, yung mga convenience, and even yung means by which the information about a product is received by a client. Okay? So, yan. So next is we have the approach improvement strategically. Okay, so by having a strategic approach to improvement, so processes are developed and tested para ma-ensure natin yung product or yung services quality. So ito is involved yung making yung suppliers offer quality suppliers, which is kailangan doon para makapag-produce ng products. Yan. So next is you have the improve continuously. So kagaya ng sinabi ko is every time, yun, kailangan hindi lang yung is stick ka na lang doon sa product, sa quality na yun. If kailangan i-improve mo pa ng mas maganda yung product mo, the quality of the product, then yun, continuously na i-improve mo. Diba? Hanggang sa maging maganda talaga siya. Next is encourage mutual respect and teamwork. So this is the most important. So mutual respect and teamwork. So importante ito kasi nga it fosters a single organizational culture of excellence by knowing that every employee from top to bottom of the hierarchy holds the same core principles at heart. Okay? So, yan. So, the entire team at Funtime Travel works together to make a viewing, planning, and booking a vacation on their website a pleasure and easy experience. So, this requires an interdepartmental approach sa TQM natin or Total Quality Management natin. Okay? So, yan. Okay, so next is we have the Project Human Resource Management. So Project Human Resource Management includes the process that organize, manage, and lead the project team. So the project team is comprised of the people with assigned roles and responsibilities for completing the project the project. So the project team members may have a varied skill sets, may be assigned full or part-time, and may be added or removed from the team as the project progresses. So we have here the following we have here the following are the common human resource function and typically retail organization will be having. So first is the job analysis and job design. So ibig sabihin, itong process na ito is describing the operations, yung duties or yung mga responsibilities natin dun sa trabaho. So in order to recruit retail employee dun sa scientific and rational basis, it becomes necessary to determine in advance yung standard of personnel with which interested candidate can be compared. So yan. So lalo na pag yung madami kang kasabayan na mag-apply ng trabaho, di ba? So yan. So titignan nila kung sino talaga yung mas qualified kahit na pareho kayo ng graduate, pareho kayo na nakapasa sa board. So may mga kailangan din yun tignan. Then recruitment and selection of retail employees. So yan. And next is you have the training and development. So, hindi yung nagtrabaho ka na, hanggang doon ka na lang. So, if there are opportunities for you to attend the training, which will develop your skills, yan, or So, after selecting the most suitable and eligible candidates doon sa organization, so yung kailangan na next step para doon sa HR department is to arrange for their training. So, lahat ng trabaho or all types ng jobs are required some type of training for their efficient performance. Excuse me. And therefore, lahat ng employees or yung kahit mga bago or old should be trained or retrained from time to time. Okay? Next is performance management. So, after the selected training and motivation, the next task is yung HR manager has to perform is to evaluate the personality and performance of each employee by quantitative factors. So, yan, kaya nga 'di ba magkakandak din tayo ng teacher's evaluation dito para tignan natin kung ano yung mga part or skills or ah, yan na kailangan naming i-develop or i-improve, 'di ba? So, yan. So next is we have the compensation and benefits. So, yan, yung mga pasahod, yung ano ba yung makukuha nilang benefits. So yan, so yung compensation and yung benefits represent a substantial part doon sa total cost in the most of the organization. So yung compensation is not only the concerns of the organization but equally important for workers and employees to maintain their social image. And next is labor relations. And next is you have the managerial relations. So for the last one is the managerial relation. So the employment relationship, irrespective of nature of the organization, usually has two parts. Yung labor relations at saka yung managerial relations natin. So yung former which covers the price of labor is more obvious. So yung labor relation natin is also known as yung market relations. So yung managerial relations on the other side are the relationships that define how the process take place. Okay? So yan. So I think that's for our lesson for week 11 and that is the last lesson of your midterm. I hope you understand our topic for today. And if you have any questions regarding our topic, please do not hesitate to ask me through our GC, ask a question through dun sa GC natin or through my personal messengers. Okay? So yan. And before we end our discussion, for your requirements, yan. So for your requirements, for activity number 1, that is true or false. So write 2 if the statement is correct and F if the statement is incorrect. Take note that always put your answer on a clean yellow paper. Okay, so for your true or false, that is 10 items. Yan. And for activity number 2, uh, for activity number 2, dyan kasi sa printed module ninyo guys, tinanggal ko yung activity number 2. And then, yung activity number 3 ninyo, which is the essay, ginawa ko activity number 2. Okay? So, minove ko lang siya. So, for the activity number 2, answer each of the following in 100 or 5 to 10 sentences na lang. Okay? So, first question is describe the relationship of quality management and customer satisfaction. And for the number 2, discuss the importance of human resource planning to a project manager. And for the activity number 3, yan, which is activity number 4 dyan sa module ninyo. So, na-move na siya guys ha. That is multiple choices. So, read the questions carefully and choose the best answer. So, I think 15 items. Okay, that is for today. And I'll be expecting you to submit your requirements anytime this week. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And God bless us all. Always keep your immune system strong. Wear your face mask or your face shield when you go out. Maintain social distancing. Kumain kayo ng mga healthy foods. And of course, maghugas ng mga kamay. Mag-sanitize kayo. Thank you once again for listening and God bless us all. And I hope makinig pa kayo sa mga succeeding lessons natin. Thank you and God bless.